The formula for calculating the correlation coefficient, or R, is on the top of page 148. Fortunately, a graphing calculator does this calculation so that you don't have to. So when you go to desmos.com/calculator, the Desmos graphing calculator, go through the usual steps to plot a scatter plot that uses these 3 points, 25, 23, 1, 2, and 3, 4. That will look like this. So here are those 3 points that I plotted using a table. And then when you go down to the next line and put in your y sub 1 tilde mx sub 1 plus b, you'll see, not only will you be able to see the linear regression line, but you'll also be able to see the R value. So here is the R value, or the correlation coefficient for this regression line. How do you interpret the correlation coefficient? Since the R value of this data set is very, very, very close to 1, we know 2 things. First, since R is positive, we know that the trend is positive. We can also see that from the uphill line, or the positive slope of this line. As the X values increase, the Y values increase too. Second, since the R value is very close to 1, we know that there's a very strong relationship between these 2 variables. So if you're back here, right, here you would fill in that R value, that correlation coefficient that we saw on our graph. And you would also be able to determine if there's a strong negative correlation, a weak negative correlation, no correlation, a weak positive correlation, or a strong positive correlation. So think about what your line was doing, if it was going uphill or downhill, or if there wasn't a line. And then think about if you were close to 1 or -1, because then it's strong. So that's how you answer these 2 questions on page 148.